for him, really, since the World Cup. You mentioned the World Cup in 2018 in Russia. After that, between the former United, the injuries, the move to Juventus that didn't really work out so far. It's only been a year, but he's hardly played. Plus, of course, and we talked about it a lot on the show together, what happened in his private life with his own family and the racketing that he'd been the victim of, really, from his own brothers. I think all of that, Paul Pogba is not really a footballer anymore. Yes, he played a little bit so far this season. I mean, the irony is that the game where he was tested positive after didn't even come off the bench, that first game against Udinese. But now he risked a 4-year suspension. 4 years. I mean, we're waiting for the sample B to come back and see if that's positive or not. And after that, I guess he will have to put some sort of defenses together. We heard in the news, and Rafaela Pimenta, who is his agent, that you and I know really well, Jim and Simon as well, have been telling us that he never wanted to do anything wrong. Okay, maybe, but she was not very convincing, I thought, in her statements in what she told us yesterday. So we will have to see. But knowing him the way I do, I find really hard to believe. And testosterone is it's really rare for footballers to get caught with testosterone. It's not really a doping product that you would associate with football. It's more cycling back in the early 2000s and things like that, but not so much for football. But this is where he's at right now.
It's sad, Simon, isn't it? I often think about Pogba. I remember being at Carrington many years ago and seeing him that day. And Mino Raiola was around the place and was going to be negotiating with the club that day too. I often think if history had been different and Pogba had stayed under Sir Alex at United first time around, his career, although it's been incredible, of course, he's a World Cup winner, but his career could have been totally different and all the better.
Possibly. I mean, his career was at stellar heights for some period of time. I have to say, without wanting to be mean-spirited, sorrow isn't the emotion that automatically comes to the fore when I think of Pogba. You know, I think that Pogba has had many opportunities in life and at Manchester United to change the narrative. He chose not to. For whatever reason, whether it was simply a bad purchase from Manchester United and it wasn't fit for purpose in terms of what they bought and what they wanted to utilise him for was the wrong fit. But I wouldn't wish upon him the challenges that he's had in his family life with the duplicity and downright treachery of his brother. I wouldn't wish that upon him. But testosterone is used in a variety of different places. Why would you use testosterone? Muscle rebuilding, bone density. If you're spending a lot of time out of injury, wouldn't testosterone be a drug that would help you to rehabilitate quicker if indeed that first sample comes back as a proven challenge, if the B sample comes back the same way? It's concerning because we're hearing just a little bit too much now about drug taking in one particular sport, in boxing, and now all of a sudden in the biggest sport in the world we're now hearing about a player. But no, I don't mean to be mean-spirited, but my takeaway isn't one of sorrow for Pogba. He ploughed his trough, he rowed his boat, he made the decisions that he made. He moved away from Manchester United because he didn't want to operate in a certain way, and I think he drove Ferguson mad at the time. He goes away, he plays in Juventus, he's afforded a lot of luxuries, and the team was built around him and all the things that he wouldn't do. And can you imagine Pogba, someone like Pogba, playing for a Pep Guardiola, where he thinks he's got a choice about how he's going to play? Because Pep Guardiola's mentality is that I will improve the players and they will fall round to my way of thinking rather than yours.
Well, exactly. I think what Simon says, it sounds harsh, Julian, but I think a lot of people will be on the same page as Simon with those views.
Yeah, completely. And I can understand. And obviously, as you know, while he was at United, there was a lot of